what business gems or any really work ethic gems that you have that you've been able to see because you've got a global business and you've been able to kind of travel the world that are different than someone who's just only been, you know, in the United States or even in Wisconsin? What things can you offer to our listeners from that?
Reach out, make friends, because that's the most important thing. Learn about different cultures.
Mm.
Um, that's one of the things I learned in the military is you may not eat this in your normal diet, but because we're trying to make friends with these people that are
Mm.
in our sector, you want to, hey, sit down, have a meal with somebody, ask them, and be genuinely engaged with them. And by me doing that, I've made lifelong friendships in Amsterdam with the very best in kickboxing, with the champion, one of the 6-time world champions. He's like, Lawrence, you don't stay at the bed and breakfast or hotels anymore. You stay at my house. And I'm just like, wow, okay, cool. Or when I have Remy Bonjasky, which is considered the greatest heavyweight kickboxing person out there, he's like, you don't need to take a taxi. I'll drive you back to your place, you know? So you make those type of connections with people. And even when I'm not going over there, throw them a text or an email. Hey, I'm just checking in on you, seeing how you're
Mhm.
doing.
Yeah.
It's a something I learned in the military. You build friendships, brotherhoods, sisterhoods with those people, and really get down to it and be genuine. Because when you're out in another country and people are shooting at you, you better have some friends that aren't just Americans. Because if you're
Right.
not friends with the locals, you ain't coming home.
Right.
You know.
Mhm.
Mm.
And it does definitely let me know no matter what I'm faced with, because I was in Baghdad in firefights before in Sadr City, which was considered one of the worst areas in Baghdad. And you really learn what you're made of.
Mm.
And know that you can't curl up in a ball and cry. I remember one year I was doing a martial arts demonstration and my kneecap popped off and my quadricep blew up. Bradley, I believe you were there.
I remember.
When I
Was that with a dude you were wrestling with the dude on the ground? You were trying to show a move. I remember it. I
No,
remember
that
being
was
there.
a year
Ooh.
year after that. And
Oh,
so
that was
my
a different
kneecap
event. Oh,
popped
okay.
off. Yeah, and I had to be taken away by the ambulance. And at that
Mm.
split
Mm.
second, I was already thinking about trying to go for a world title in Muay Thai. And also, that would have been my year that I possibly could have turned pro in bodybuilding because I just
Mm.
finished up third in the nation.
Mm.
And I lost it all within a split second. And yeah, I cried about it for a minute. I lost all my sponsorship. It happened on a Sunday, and all my sponsors cut me by a Tuesday.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
And
Mm.
Mm.
and
Mhm.
so to go from I was making very good money, I'd have to say, without even having to win the bodybuilding shows. I would just show
Mm.
up, and my check was already been in the mail, you know, or my equipment
Mm.
had already been delivered to my house and put together, or at my parents' house, because I worked out deals where my mom was my manager, and I was like, well, if I have this piece of equipment at my house, I want the same thing at my parents' house, you know, because when I'm over there training,
That's
I
right.
can train
Nice.
train on the same piece of equipment. So
Mm.
I did lose that, but then I sat down, regrouped, as I said that you must do sometimes is regroup. And I said, well, let me try to be the best trainer I can be. And that's
Mhm.
what I trained on and retooled myself to really dig in deep in my martial arts and bodybuilding. And during that time, I turned one young man into a professional bodybuilder, another one into a top national bodybuilder, and then since then I've turned about 5 or 6 people professional in martial arts, whether it's kickboxing or MMA.